It's a roller coaster this week, dipping way down. PDXWIT is forced to suspend their operations. On a high note, we've got PitchBlack, sold out show, amazing crowd, great pitches, $81,000 of grants. A serial entrepreneur in Portland releases a new AI tool for kids. Let's get into it. So you know those weeks as a founder where you have like an incredibly high high and an incredibly low low? Sometimes that happens during the week. Sometimes that highest high and that lowest low are during the same exact day. That high high and that low low were definitely this week. So let's start off with the low. Perhaps the lowest low I've had to report this year, and we've had some pretty low lows. Good friends and an organization I respect a great deal, PDXWIT, started out as Portland Women in Technology, has been forced to close its doors, basically due to a lack of funding. You know, I'm at that point in my grieving over this whole story where I'm just angry. This is just stupid. Like PDXWIT, in my opinion, best professional organization we had in town, doing amazing work. I intentionally worked to co-locate with PDXWIT in the pie shop at Autodesk because I had such respect for the work they did and I wanted to learn from them. How did they manage community? How did they create an inclusive environment? How did they get so many people to volunteer time and energy to the PDXWIT effort? But unfortunately, now we've lost that because sponsors who claimed that diversity, equity, and inclusion were important to them and that helping people feel a sense of belonging in the tech community, regardless of how they chose to show up in the world, it was lip service. It was just lip service. They weren't willing to put the money behind it. They weren't willing to sponsor. And, there was no one cause. It was really, for PDXWIT, it was really death by 1,000 cuts. There were any number of things that came into play. I tried to capture some of those in my post. You saw Malia Spencer write about it as well, and I will make sure and link that up. Fact of the matter is, it became a perfect storm from a nonprofit perspective. First, you had this lack of sponsorship or declining sponsorship. You had the need to kind of rethink the business model and decide how to create a runway for the organization going forward. And then you had, a traditional kind of nonprofit grant environment that has become increasingly competitive during an economic downturn because private industry is not supporting nonprofits. Therefore, nonprofits have to chase more grants and more grant funding, therein making that environment more competitive for everyone going after grant dollars. Obviously, I could write a small dissertation on all the things that are wrong in the grant world and the nonprofit world, but fact of the matter is, this part of the story is one of the most amazing organizations we had, not just in the tech community, but in Portland, is now no more. They've been forced to close their doors due to lack of funding. I think the board took on the appropriate financial fiduciary responsibility and made the decision to shut down the organization, and that obviously was the biggest story this week. And I'm sorry to everyone at PDXWIT who found their calling in working for that organization. I'm sorry for all the volunteers that dedicated thousands of hours of time to that organization. And I'm extremely sorry to the community in that they've lost this amazing resource. So just sit with that, just think about it, figure out how we as a community are going to work toward a more inclusive and welcoming community without this organization that led so much of that work, because the work they did was important. and remains important. Unfortunately, we just don't have that organization to help guide us through that work anymore. Okay, so farewell, PDXWIT. Love you dearly. You were the best professional organization in the community, one of the best professional organizations I've ever seen, and you will be desperately missed. If you can help folks out from PDXWIT, find new gigs, that kind of thing, please do. Please reach out. Please provide support for those folks as they transition out of this organization. So that's the low for the week. But then get ready, it's a roller coaster. Had a super big high this week as well. And that high, of course, was, I've been talking about it for months. I've been super excited. It sold out. And then, even though it sold out, suddenly there was a live stream and there were like 10 companies that were going to be pitched. And not all of them were local. Some of them were from California. A company from Salem, Oregon. Of course, I'm talking about PitchBlack. You know I'm always excited about PitchBlack. You get to see 10 amazing founders get up on stage in front of one of the most loving and supportive crowds I've ever seen. And I've seen a lot of really good crowds, but the crowd there is always amazing. And the pitches this year, I tell you, I hope you were there. So I sincerely hope you were there. But if you weren't there, I hope you watched the live stream. The pitches this year were like even better than I've seen them in previous years. It was just an amazing event at the Research. 10 different stories. You had apparel, you had, storytelling through video, you had a school, you had an immersive candle making experience, you had food, just a ton of amazing companies that people are building in our midst and just south of us in California. And congrats to everyone who took the opportunity to apply. Congrats to those who were selected, and just a phenomenal job by the 10 people who took the stage and shared their stories and shared details about the companies they were building. And then, of course, after all the pitching, the crowd gets to vote. And they were voting. It was a tough decision, so tough. They're like, "Hey, can you bring the QR code back? We're not quite sure who to decide on. We need to think it through some more." And when it was all said and done, and the audience had put in their votes, and Steven shut down the voting and brought the laptop out into the backstage to be like, "Okay, I think these are the folks." So this is how it wound up. So we had $10,000 went to Flourish Spices and African Foods from Salem, Oregon. $20,000 in second place went to ABC Travel Green Book, an app that helps the Black diaspora travel more effectively and find engaging experiences wherever they go. And the big winner with $30,000 in grant prize money was Hala School. And I think the most amazing thing about Hala School is the presenter had a bunch of slides, but he got so into the story, he just left it on the one slide of the kids at the school, just left that up there and just went off and told his story with an incredible amount of passion and love. And it was clear why he was awarded the top spot by the crowd. So again, congratulations to everyone. Everyone who participated got a $3,000 grant. All of this money is non-dilutive. It's all grant prize money, so no equity given up, none of that investment stuff. They just get the money to work with to put toward their businesses. And, hopefully people learned about 1 or 3 or 8 or maybe 10 new businesses that they didn't know about that are led by Black founders, all as part of PitchBlack, which takes place during Black History Month. Now, if you didn't get the chance to show up, maybe it sold out too soon or whatever, or you didn't get the chance to tune in to the live stream. I've heard from a few folks who had conflicts and weren't able to tune in. It was recorded. I did see them recording the live stream. No promises, no guarantees, but my hope is that recorded content will be made available so that you too can take part in it. Even if you missed the show, even if you missed the live stream, you'll still be able to take advantage of that content. So I'll keep you posted. If and when it is released, I will let you know, and I'll link it up. And I'll add it to a playlist, and so you'll have that at your disposal. So you'll get to participate in PitchBlack 2024 as well. As well you should. Despite the lows this week with PDXWIT and their situation, the highest of highs with PitchBlack. So balances out. How long have I been talking? La 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 la. One other story I was able to get to this week, because I was, honestly, full disclosure, I was trying to be as helpful as I could behind the scenes with PDXWIT. I was trying to be as helpful as I could behind the scenes with PitchBlack. So a lot of my free time that I would usually use to write stories and keep you informed and share things, I was contributing elsewhere. Didn't mean to ignore you. I just thought that these two things were important to the community and deserved my time and energy and focus. So I apologize for not publishing as much this week, but I did get the chance to write one big story on a new startup in Portland called Genie. And Genie is an AI chatbot designed to interact with kids, keep them company, tell them jokes, help them tell stories or think through things, or just there to be a companion for them. And I'm really excited about it, not just because it's AI, but because of who is behind the scenes on building Genie. Now, the CEO, co-founder is Darius Monsef, goes by Bubs. You might be familiar with him from his days at Color Lovers, company he founded that went through Y Combinator and then became Creative Market that sold to Autodesk. Or you might be familiar with Darius from his next startup called Brave Care, which was urgent pediatric care. So it was a series of clinics that were not only leveraging technology to improve service delivery, but also just thinking through the culture of how you deliver urgent care to children and doing a better job of that. That too went through Y Combinator. So Darius went through Y Combinator with Color Lovers, Creative Market, then wound up at Y Combinator again with Brave Care, and now he's on to his next startup with Genie. And again, doing something for kids and exploring creativity. So it's kind of a nice mashup of two of the previous startups he's done before. And then the other interesting thing is he's again working with his co-founder from Brave Care, Asa Miller, who I, full disclosure, was lucky enough to work with while he was at Pi. He went through one of the classes at Pi way back in the day with a startup called Stand-In. That's Stand-In artwork right there. That's Asa and Kat from Stand-In got me that artwork. Really happy to see them working together. Super excited. It's in AI, and just looking forward to. It's currently in beta, so I'm just looking forward to seeing how it grows, seeing what the response is, seeing where they go with this AI for kids, because they understand a lot about kids from their days at Brave Care and from being parents. Portland Winter Light Festival is still going on Friday and Saturday. If you haven't had a chance to make it out to Portland Winter Light Festival, please do that. And then Sunday, there's a bunch of new ads that have cost a ton of money. Some of them have probably been produced by local ad agency Wyden & Kennedy, I would imagine. But they're going to run a bunch of those ads. They do it over the course of a few hours. So get your afternoon ready to watch those ads. And just to kind of break it up, in between the ads, they're going to play some football, and Taylor Swift will be there. So that's your Sunday if you choose to celebrate in that way, watching advertisements and Taylor Swift and maybe some football here and there between two teams wearing red. So may get confusing. I don't know. Have a good Super Bowl Sunday. Do that. And then get ready for next week. Wednesday, it's Valentine's Day. So if there's a significant other or someone in your life who's supporting you on your startup journey, who's giving you the support you need, maybe consider doing something nice for them on Valentine's Day. Just be nice. Just do that. There are other people in your life too who deserve as much attention as you're giving your startup. So just give some attention to those people on Valentine's Day. It's just nice. So PDXWIT, PitchBlack, Genie. Thanks for showing up. As always, it's good to get the chance to hang out with you for a few minutes. I know we're all busy. I know there's lots of stuff going on, but I do appreciate you taking the time to stop by. It's good to see you. I hope you're hanging in there. And until we get the chance to chat again, please keep up the good work.